stand back in front of the window. This is terrorism. This is a follow-up from my previous videos. This is my house. This is my bedroom. There's my bed. This is where I sleep at night. I am being harassed, electronically harassed, the directed energy weapon systems. This is because I've spoken out against the agenda. It's being beamed through my bedroom window at night time when I sleep. I'm currently standing in front of the window. But watch what happens when I stand outside of the window. Watch the frequency meter just there. I will step back into the window frame again to block the signal. Step outside of it again.
Online activists worldwide are being hit with energy weapons in a concerted effort to silence dissent and to kill off inconvenient citizens. This is being reported worldwide. This isn't people's imagination. It's definitely happening. And it's not just the kooks that are trying to protect themselves with tinfoil. Remember John McAfee warning us about the government and the vaccines and the like? Well, they killed him and many others. And it's been all over the congressional hearings as well.
Your assessments here are correct. These are very covert weapons, aren't they?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things, especially on the low duration, the low intensity, long duration hits.
They're not just designed to make people feel like they're going crazy or to torture people. These weapons are designed to kill and to cause cancer and heart attacks and strokes. In the government documents, they clearly say microwave radiation produces heart seizures, neurological pathologies, which includes strokes and aneurysms and the like. Many people have been taken out like that. Effects on the central nervous system, MS, and other neurological disorders, but also causing cancers, mutations in the chromosomes. This is everywhere in the DoD documents, and the Pentagon admits it themselves.
Your assessments here are correct. These are very covert weapons, aren't they?
The symptoms of acute radiation sickness would be just exactly like a terrible flu. A person would have a headache. They would feel very tired. They would have a little bit of a fever.
At first, they rolled out the 5G, and then everybody started getting sick. Not only does the 5G act like a pandemic, but it can also target people with surgical precision and kill them in ways you can't even imagine, causing specific cancers or heart attacks or strokes. This system was quietly deployed while we were busy doom scrolling from crisis to crisis, from election to election. They've been working on this for decades. They've been microwaving people since the 1960s. Now they've automated it with AI and have deployed it in the 5G and the smart city infrastructure. All the cell towers, all the street lamps, the smart meters, the cell phones, they're all linked into this system, tracking people on the red list. And so this is a huge concern, especially if you've been flagged by social media. Oh, they wanted your ID. They wanted to know who you were so that you could be safe. No, it's so that you could be targeted. And that's the sad world that we find ourselves in right now. People are being targeted worldwide, wherever they go, with surgical precision. And it's not until you pick up on this that things really begin to get strange. Once you start shielding, the system begins to compensate. This system knows you're going to shield. This system knows you're going to run. This system knows what you're going to do. The first Signs are chronic fatigue, heart palpitations, recurring headaches, pain not associated with an injury, like recurring back problems.
I'm going to stand back in front of the window. This.
Then you start getting suspicious. You go buy a meter, you start seeing weird stuff happening in your house. And so eventually, most people, or at least some people, will begin to shield. And they'll start with aluminum foil and mylar. The system knows this. And the system is built to be bunker busting. This is military grade technology. This isn't somebody with a ham radio next door and a Yagi antenna. This is much more sophisticated. And so once the system knows that you know, then a siege begins. And they start bringing in more weapons. Until they basically finish you off. And everybody thinks you're crazy. People try to run, they lose their jobs, they end up on the street, they're being attacked, and they're just finished off, and people are like, oh, that's too bad. Well, it is too bad. Because every pureblood, every conservative, and every Christian out there is on the list. You see what they're doing to Donald Trump. You saw what they did to Julian Assange and many others. People are being erased on an industrial scale for free. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. This system, big tech and the like, this beast system, plans on assimilating you. Like the Borg. It's all over the mainstream magazines. Time, National Geographic. The WEF is like, come get your brain chip. Elon Musk, come get your brain chip. You think you're safe on Twitter? Elon wants to assimilate you as well. And the people that don't want to get the brain chip, they're going to get dosed by this system. And it's all plugged into the AI. There's no running from it. All you can do is basically shield and protect yourself and not move around. That's what basically did John McAfee in, making big moves unprotected. All of this is in this book, Transhuman Genocide. We continue to recommend it because it not only talks about the agenda, the strategies, the physics, but also the shielding that you can deploy to protect yourself from these military-grade weapons. Research from the top minds of electromagnetism, field tested by the human resistance, that are people that are currently fighting this system, fighting to survive. The best strategies. This book is the goods on everything that's going on with directed energy weapons and artificial intelligence and the agenda to exterminate humanity. Be sure to check that book out on Amazon, Transhuman Genocide, before you suffer the climate change, the sudden and mysterious effects of the 5G, especially if you've been feeling off since the rollout of 5G. Chronic fatigue, heart palpitations, recurring headaches, pain not associated with an injury. You think it's you think it's natural causes. It's synthetic. It's the system causing cancers. They can cause cancers in days, heart attacks in minutes. Even the new cars have been equipped. You can have a medical emergency while driving around. They've loaded up.
The symptoms of acute radiation sickness would be just exactly...
Fire the video guy. They've loaded up the grocery stores with these weapons as well. They plan on denying you food, and that's already begun for many people. They'll deny you work. They'll deny you everything that you can. You basically have to become a digital nomad and a homesteader. But there's no point getting the water filter, the food supplies, the power supplies, if you're not protecting yourself against energy weapons. This is next generation warfare, and it's only going to get worse. Even out in the country, planes, blimps, drones, and the like are filling in the gaps. And the 6G is just around the corner, and it plans on using people as antennas. You don't even want to know what that's going to feel like. So the time to start preparing is now. And building a safe room, getting the shielding materials needed and the like is a project. It can take up to a year to do it right and to do it in a way that's basically affordable. Building a safe room can cost up to as much as a cheap used car, a couple $1,000s. I mean, people want to do that over time. But this book is the how to survive. And it shows you what kind of materials you can get online to put together to make an effective safe room for broadband spectrum protection against EMF weapons. Because it's not just microwaves. It's ELF, it's X-rays, it's the X-band, it's so much more. And so basically, you know, EMF fabrics aren't enough. EMF can protect you against cell phone radiation, but not Wi-Fi. Why? Because every type of shielding material has a spectrum of coverage, but it doesn't cover the entire EMF spectrum. That's why it's really important that you check out this book. Read the free sample, you'll totally understand. This is the most comprehensive book on the subject, and given the situation, it's basically suicide not to protect yourself, especially if you've been flagged on social media or if you're a pureblood. This is happening to people worldwide. It's huge. And the television keeps deflecting, saying, oh, it's the Russians. Oh, 5G is safe and effective just like the vaccines. No, it's not safe and effective just like the vaccines. Tens of thousands of doctors have been warning about 5G just like they were warning about the vaccines. And obviously it gets so much worse because this system is poisoning the food, the air, the water. It's a total war right now. But you stand zero chance without EMF protection, military grade, and you basically have to build it yourself. They don't want you having this stuff. That's why they banned the lead out of the paint. They want to nuke your children. They want to nuke you. They want to take over. They want to assimilate mankind. It's a nightmare. And the sooner people get on the battlefield, the better. The sooner people bring the rope, the better. People need to hang for the pandemic Nuremberg style, and everybody knows it. And they're not going to go out willingly. But people don't stand a chance long term if they're not protecting, shielding against this Trojan horse weapon system that's in everybody's neighborhood. Take a good look at it. You think that's normal? They're trying to exterminate everybody. It was on the Georgia Guidestones, and they blew up the evidence. And they're going to keep playing stupid and covering up their crimes until it's mission accomplished. It's up to us to fight back and to survive. And there's only one way to do that with these weapon systems, and that's with military-grade shielding. Check out that book, Transhuman Genocide. Until the next time, if you're listening to this, you are the Resistance.